Hello and good evening, listeners. Welcome to our weekly English program, Kaleidoscope. Listeners, in our today's program, we have Chandrakant and Patrick Redican, who are a father and son duo who write poetry in English. Patrick Redican is of Irish Canadian heritage who has been living in Jesuri, a temple town in the heart of Maharashtra since 1985. He has run a school over there for over 20 years and has done lots of studies of the local culture. His son Chandrakant is a lecturer at a Pune based college, and Chandrakant and his sister Priyam are co founders of the Bullock Cart Poetry, an organization committed to creating original rooted poetry. Chandrakant is one of the leading spoken word poets of Pune. This conversation of Chandrakant and Patrick Redican is titled as Life is a Slow Unfolding, which is a curated compilation of poems written by Patrick and Chandrakant about the land of Jesuri and Pune as well as the culture around it. A signature aspect of the poetry is that it is inspired by the local environment and the cultural heritage of Maharashtra. So, listeners, we are definitely in for some very lovely poetic time. So, let's listen to the second part. Over to them.
Hello and welcome to the second part of Life is a Slow Unfolding Poetic Conversations with Chandrakant and Patrick Redican. I'm Chandrakant and I'm here with my father Patrick Redican. In the last episode, we spoke about freedom, we spoke about different national icons like the rhinoceros, and we also spoke a little bit about your life and how you came to live here, but we did not reveal the whole story behind it. So would you like to tell us a little bit more about why you decided to come to India in the first place and then decide to stay in India for so long?
We got married, his mother and I. His mother is Maharashtrian from Pune. And we got married in 1983. And I went back to Canada. And the original plan was that she should come to Canada. And then I sort of got the idea that I would like to live in India for a couple of years just for the interest of it. I was a journalist at the time, and journalism is a pretty portable profession. So in the end, I came over here in late 1984, and we opened a medical store. And then 1987, we had our first child, who was Chandrakant here. At that point, I had already realized how much better a place India was for children, that it's such a child-centered society, that children have a much better life here. Perhaps not materially, although increasingly the difference between the West and India has become less and less. But socially, emotionally, that everything is centered around the children. In India, virtually everyone loves children. And the children grow up with a lot of love. And that, unfortunately, is not so true in most of the westernized countries, in the Western and westernized countries, and even in the westernized parts of our own country, right? And then when it came time to send Chandrakant to school, we were in a long argument. My wife wanted to send him to English medium school. And I felt that the English medium schools mostly develop the child's ego without really giving him a great deal of education. And I didn't want to send him to English medium. I said, we'll send him to Marathi medium, and he was going to learn English anyways. He was already learning English. He spoke English before he spoke Marathi, really. And we solved that by starting our own school. It was an English medium school, but we taught Marathi right from first standard, and we always emphasized that the languages were at least equal. And since the children spoke Marathi at home, at first they were stronger in the Marathi. But I don't think that you can be really good in English if you're not really good in your home language. And in the long run, that theory has proved true. I mean, we've had a lot of graduates now, and one of the things that always stands out is the quality of their English, right? Because of the quality of their Marathi, or in some cases, the home language was Hindi, right?
Also, another part of being brought up in Jejuri is, this immense connection to Maharashtrian culture and Maharashtrian traditions. Because for those of you who do not know, Jejuri is the abode of the god Khandoba. And Khandoba is the family god for more than half the families in Maharashtra. He's the Kuldaivat of Maharashtra. So talking about that, one of the big identification points also is that the Wari also goes through Jejuri. And All India Radio does a program on the Wari. It's called Wari Pandharichi, where the broadcasters on All India Radio actually become Warkaris and they travel with them every day and they are talking about the Wari. So no other channel actually does that, where they're with a certain pilgrimage completely from the beginning till the Aarti happens on Ashad Ekadashi. Also, the Wari actually begins and it crosses many rivers, and rivers are very much associated with Maharashtrian identity along with mountains. Don't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the rivers were the original transportation routes, right?
Yeah.
Our oldest roads tend to follow the rivers, and they're in our imagination, and a lot of people identify Purandar as basically...
Yeah, it's a river valley.
It's a river valley,
It's
a
a
very
river valley.
sort of flat river valley, but it's the Kara, right?
Yeah.
What a great... It's the valley of compassion.
Yeah, Kara means compassion,
Yeah,
right?
what could be higher?
Yeah. So given that, I've got a poem about the river Kara. So a lot of our poems in this section are going to be about rivers and what happens around them. So this one is called River Goddess. It's based on the river Kara. So here goes. Like the bubbling brook out of the laughing spring, out of the rice fields of Garade, nestled in the mountains of the Western Ghats, she starts running and dancing like her anklets are flashing. Water, rock, soil, thunder, lightning. They never destroy her, they enhance her, make her terrible, make her loving as she meanders and gushes and flows through the valley, past Garade, past Saswad and Khalad and Khanapur and Belsar and Kothare and Nazre, all villages in the valley. They bless her and love her and laugh with her as she laughs in the monsoon, giving life to their fields. The painted stork thumps its giant wings, the ibis searches for food in her wake, the Siberian crane migrates to her islands, the multitudes that come to Jejuri, the temple town of the god Khandoba, come to her to bathe themselves. The god Khandoba fell in love with her, and he comes to meet her every year, leaving his temple and his town for her. People love her. Farmers pay homage to her. Gods pay their respect to her, and she laughs with joy and gives what she has always given. Life, and a way of life that will always mean love. When the summer sun becomes too hot, she stays inside in the hearts of everyone. They know she will be there again, but they know the sun is too hot for her. They know she will be there again, but they know that the sun is too hot for her and that he will retreat in a while, and her waters rise to the sun because he loves her too and she loves him, and she can be one with him in soul, but her bed will always be here. This river bed of many miles, of 1,000 villages and millions of living beings, all are there to live when she breathes life onto them. So here I am, Kara, you river goddess. I am human. I am water. I am a riverbed. I am Khandoba, the god himself. I am everything you want me to be. I will promise to be everything you want me to be. I will forever try to be what you want me to be. And if you want more from me, tell me and I will give it. But Karha, flow through me and flow throughout me like you flow through the mountains of the Purandar fort range. Flow through the fertile farms of the town of Saswad. Flow through the rolling hills of the village of Nazre and the thorny plains of Morgaon where the first humans settled. Flow throughout me like you flow through the fertile earth and enable it to rear every living thing here. Flow into me and dance inside me like you weather down a stone and make a place for yourself in the very bones of the earth. Do the same for the soul. Do the same for my soul. Kara, river goddess.
Wow. I haven't heard that one either.
Yeah, I'm hiding a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, so this one's Kara. It's actually a poem about longing with the metaphor as Kara. So speaking about rivers, another very important part of life in Jejuri is the Dive Ghat, right? So tell us your connection with the Dive Ghat.
For 34 years, I've been going back and forth to Pune once or twice a week. And you know that you're home when you crest the Dive Ghat. But even going up it, everything's changing. You're out of the city. It's cooler. It's fresher. It's more open, you know. I have a strong feeling for it. I mean, it just feels like something great just to be coming up. When you're coming down, what you do is you get a view of all the smog in Pune, right? Not so great, right? Although Pune itself is a very nice place. Driving up the Dive Ghat, I feel drawn into the green beauty of it. Weeks of rain have given a tropical lushness unimaginable in the sear heat of May. It is like this every year. May cannot foretell October. October cannot remember May. Each is complete in itself. October is all green, all bountiful, swarming with life. The air is thick with dragonflies, with butterflies, with bees, with bird song, with the cool moistness of still more rain promised. Small streams seen only in their season run down the rock face, the stone glistening black and brown and gold in fortuitous designs, natural mosaics fashioned only to express creation's joy, to exhilarate the eye. The sun is benign, a welcome, fleeting warmth. May is the sun's month. Heat is its gift. The farmers plow the soil deep to let the heat into the earth. The bullocks and their masters, cotton white, reflective, heat-proof, pattern the dark fields. For May has no color. The white sun bleaches the crop's stubble colorless. The roadsides are white dust. The trees are shadow dark, mimicking the darker hills. Wind sweeps hot and dusty across the afternoon. May has no sound. Waves of heat blanketing the fields like sheltering snow absorbs all sound, save solitary, metallic bird or insect whirs that disappear into silence like the small, sporadic clouds into the white sky. This land has lived in these cycles of rain and dry and heat and cooling cloud these many, many millennia. And we with the land, taking breath and exhaling, like generations of trees taking root, flourishing, failing, falling, to rot, reseed, return and root and flower and fruit again. For heaven must pale compared to this land and its earthborn gods, whose names revealed give knowledge of ourselves, whose names remembered or forgot are finally one with a land that always changing holds unchanging truths.
Thank you. So that's the best poem ever written on Dive Ghat. So yeah, I think this is a good way to stop this section. We will meet next week, same time, for the Poetic Conversations with Chandrakant and Patrick Redican. Thank you.
So, listeners, that was Life is a Slow Unfolding, Poetic Conversations with Chandrakant and Patrick Redican. We will listen to the third and the final part next Wednesday, same time, 8:15 p.m. So don't miss to the third and the final part. It will be more exciting. I hope you enjoyed this program. Thanks for tuning in. Please stand by as our next program follows.